Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NASholes, the podcast where two assholes who like to think they know a thing or two about NASCAR talk about NASCAR. I'm Benny B, joined alongside my very good friend, Drew the Man Scarvan. You guys can follow us on X at NASHolesPod and on TikTok at NASHoles.podcast. Drew, we had mayhem in the Motor City, and, this was a race that a lot of people, were thinking a Michigan driver was going to finally win it. And Hocevar, towards the end, was kind of looking like maybe he was, but then he was kind of toying with the gas. And, we just didn't know. And we thought, well, maybe he'll get pretty close to the end, or he'll at least get like a top five, and he blows a left rear.
Well, I mean, he didn't have enough gas regardless. He would have needed a caution, but
yeah, they were saying he was about to be a short, like 4 laps short, wasn't it?
Yep. So fucking sucks.
Yeah.
That really
I'll be honest,
fucking
dude.
sucks.
It really did suck, but I'll be honest, Drew. I love this track, man.
I mean, it was a good race.
I think that this track we need to have 2 races at this track every year.
Well, yeah, that's the big thing. Everybody wants the 1.5 to 2 mile track, like they get 2 dates because they put on the best racing. Well, like I said in the last episode, we add another date to one track. That means we got to sacrifice another, and they're not going to put more races into a calendar year. So
yeah, that's just the crap thing about it, man.
Yeah, but no, I don't disagree with that though. It would be sick to have 2 Michigan dates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and you know what, Drew? I thought that this track brought us a lot of more passing than we were used to this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't recall the other Michigan races. I don't know if it was always like this, but I don't know, man.
Honestly, I can't recall the last 2 years like Michigan races. The only one that really stands out is when Chris Buescher swept 3 oval races in a row. It would have been 3 weeks in a row, but they had like oval, road course, oval, road course, oval.
Right.
But it's still pretty sick that he got a dub at Michigan. Almost did on Sunday as well, but he couldn't catch Denny Hamlin down.
Yeah. So, Drew, let's just go over the top 10 here. Let's see kind of what we're working with here. So, Denny Hamlin ends up winning, and to be honest, man, he just played it perfectly. And I was listening to him on his podcast, and basically, he wasn't trying to force Byron because Byron was up there, I believe, right? He was kind of chasing down Byron.
Yeah.
And he was explaining he was not trying to force him, to drive harder or anything. He was just, crew chief just told him like, hey, you got to go. You just got to make it, man. Just whatever it takes. And he just found his line. And I think Byron just kind of ran out of I don't know if it was. I mean, the whole gas situation at that track is just crazy, man. It's just like the way Denny described it is he raced everyone as if they all had the same exact fuel mileage. So, in other words, he didn't treat anybody differently. He's just going to race his race, and ultimately it paid off for him, man. And
oh yeah.
And I think they had actually, what's crazy is I think they had one pit stop where near the end where it was actually like really long and ended up making them start back in 12th. So just really impressive stuff from Denny, man.
Well, yeah, it wasn't an intentionally long pit stop, but one of the tire changes on the left side didn't get the fucking, what do you want? I can't think of the gun right now.
Was it the jack or was it?
No. It's the guy that puts the freaking tire off, or takes the tire off, puts it back on. The gun they used to take the lug nut off. I don't know if he just didn't get it lined up straight or whatever, but he kind of bunged that up. So they kind of took that opportunity to just let the gas man put in some more fuel, and ultimately it paid off because he was able to. Once he got to the lead, he was able to run her down.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Really, the only threat that he really had was Chris Buescher.
Had there been 5
to 10 more laps, I genuinely think Chris Buescher would have passed him. It was a valiant charge out of Buescher. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, part of me was kind of like, oh shit, he's actually gonna run him down.
Yeah.
But I think he finished a second or so behind him. Heartbreaking for him. But
it's looking like I can't really see where they finished, but yeah, so Buescher in second, and then he had Ty Gibbs in third, Bubba Wallace in fourth, Kyle Larson in fifth, Ross Chastain in sixth, Zane Smith in seventh, Kyle Busch in eighth, Ryan Preece in ninth, and Brad Keselowski in 10th. Man, what a day for RFK, man. I
Oh
mean,
my
and
god,
it's almost like
that's
they
the
needed it, man. Like that's
well
huge for them.
the thing too is I forgot what show I was listening to, but I believe it was Door Bumper Clear. It was either Door Bumper Clear or Jordan Bianchi and Jeff Lux Teardown. But one of them stated that it was the first time any RFK cars finished in the top three together since like 2016, 2015.
That's
So which
wild
was
to me,
like
man.
that was kind of like right at the downward turn of Roush Yates, or not Roush Yates, Roush Fenway. But I mean, yeah, it's super impressive. It's a good thing for Jack Roush because I mean he's a Michigan boy, just like Brad Keselowski is. So getting a
Yeah.
top 10 on Michigan's a solid thing.
Hmm.
Incredible day for him. Still a fucking heartbreaker for Carson Hocevar though,
I know
and
that killed me, Drew,
especially
because,
well, it
well,
killed
more
me
so
as
for you
well.
for the podcast because you picked
Yeah,
him,
you
which we'll get
financially,
into later.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
well, here's the thing, Drew. I'm in that pool, and every week I got to pick a driver, and once I pick him, I can't pick him again. And I was like, I'm picking Hocevar. I'm feeling good about it. Well, then that happened, and I was pretty mad. But ultimately, I mean, I was in 6th place. I only moved back 2 spots in 8th, but I need to place top 7 to get money, so I'm all right.
that
Yeah, we're okay, man. We're okay. But yeah, dude, Bubba Wallace, man, holy crap, friggin' another top 10, like 2 in a row now. I mean, he's
that's
got
pretty
something
sick.
going for him, dude. He really does.
Yeah, it's a really good shot in the arm for that team. And I really love to just see his haters fucking lose their shit on the internet over it too.
It is quite
You
funny.
know, because they'll find every excuse
Oh,
to
it
be
won't
like,
happen again.
yeah, it's like, oh well, yeah, you got lucky 2 weeks in a round. It's like, yeah, shut up. Heaven forbid, a half black, half white driver fucking does good in the sport. I mean, what bothers me though is Jesus Christ. Hang on, I got somebody blowing up my messages right now. I gotta fucking mute their ass.
Get him, Drew.
Don't restore messages. I just need to freaking mute them. Mute. There we go. Yeah, mute them for an hour.
Annoying. I'm done with you. Talk to the hand.
For real. For real. Hang on. You know what? Just for I'm keeping this in by the way, but I am gonna send them a
I don't
middle
care.
finger emoji because it made my fucking computer fucking ding a lot and it threw me off of what we're talking about. And now I'm throwing myself off even more being spiteful like this, but someone's gotta do it.
Well, I didn't hear it ding, but I definitely understand throwing you off. And basically,
Yeah,
we
too
were just talking
ADD,
about
man. DD for this shit.
basically we were just talking about Bubble. I mean,
Oh yeah,
honestly,
Bubba.
now
Yeah.
I'm thrown off because I'm
Yeah,
also
we're yeah,
ADHD. We are a bad
yeah,
combo, Drew.
for real. All it takes is one loud, noisy thing for me to just fucking, you know, focus all
Or
my
a
attention
shiny
on that.
object.
Yeah, dude. Unless I'm hyper focused on something, that's the only way I never break focus. Anyways, yeah, good weeks in a row for Bubba Wallace. It's a really good sign for that team. They're stepping in the right direction. I really like the crew chief that they got there this year as well. It kills me to say this, but because Booty Barker is one of the wheelchair warriors like me. But honestly, he was not a man. Like they had some solid runs, but I don't know. Ever since they got this new guy in, whose name I can't remember right now, heaven forbid I do a little bit of looking into this shit before we talk about it. But yeah, no. Overall, 23 teams. They're on the upswing right now, and I would love to see them get a win.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I think this is good that he's gotten these two here. On the crew chief is I thought I had it here. Denike or Denike? Denike?
Yeah, Charles D. Yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah.
anyways, I could see Bubba Wallace. I mean, if he's heading in this direction right now 2 weeks in a row, I mean, in my opinion, it's no mistake. Like they're doing the things that they need to do. So
Yeah.
I could definitely see him. I mean, like, dude, I mean, like last week he got 6th, right? I mean, and now, moves up another couple spots like at the end of the race. That's pretty good, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then Ty Gibbs,
Yeah, historically not in our graces, but it was a solid run out of the 54. I don't have a bad taste in my mouth saying that, mostly because I have nicotine in it right now, and it's amazing. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt his frustration though, because
yeah, I remember after the race he was really pissed.
well, yeah, because he felt like they gave that away, and his crew chief, I believe it was his crew chief, either crew chief or spotter, was just like, hey, big picture, dude. You've got some decent playoff points. One of our team's cars won. Big picture.
Yeah, that's kind of what it came down to. Is like, well, you just sorry, you can't go for it.
Yeah, they were telling him to conserve, 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 and he felt like he had the car to chase down Denny Hamlin, but I think he made the right decision not chasing him down because
Well, because it could
who
have screwed
knows
him.
what would
Because
have happened? Yeah,
you saw with Hocevar, and I'm not saying maybe this is the case, but like, just running it hard, like just eat up the tires, something could happen.
yeah. Well, yeah. We'll look at Hosvar. He blew his tire trying to defend, against the 24, which was an inevitable pass anyway because he was
Right.
going to
I
have to
mean, it was
gas
just,
for it.
yeah, just a dumb mistake.
Well, you see him on the straightaways in the back. He was just blocking him at every chance.
Right. You and I were talking during the
Yeah,
race. We're like, man, this guy's like sure, like Carson's good in the corners, but like straight away, like, I mean, he's
yeah,
just gaining
Byron.
so much ground.
Yeah, and it doesn't help too when when you're moving like that back and forth. All you're doing is slowing yourself down. You're just creating more resistance on the tires, and not a good combo. And
Mm-hmm.
I kind of I metaphorically walk away from Sunday, thinking that I think that was more of a lesson learned that day. That maybe maybe not defend it so hard.
Right. Because
But
of what it is, it's top 10 versus,
yeah, well, he would have still
30
needed a
with,
caution to get a top
yeah.
10 to
And you
get
and I
down
were
pit
talking
road and
about
all
that.
that.
Like, he
But
could have been all right, but he was a lap down at that point. I don't even think he finished on the lead lap, dude.
no, I think it was a lap or two down, which was a real bummer, especially because it's his home track, and
Yep,
a
one
lot of
down.
people
Yep.
were pretty upset by that. But he got the lead laps at his home track, and that's, I can only imagine, is still a good feeling.
Right, right.
Yeah. But anyways,
Drew, I want to get some comments here that I got on TikTok.
oh yes,
And we'll get into this because of this first question. This question is from my boy from the Foreign Fuel podcast. Awesome podcast. You guys like us, you're going to love them too. From Dom Capalupo. Is it really bad luck for Bowman when he was 2 seconds off the pace running 30? Now, if you remember, man, Bowman had a bad crash, man. And it's one of those crashes that just reminds you of Dale Sr., man.
well,
It just makes you,
I
it
wouldn't go
makes
that
you,
far, but it was
well,
not a good crash.
well, the style of crash. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
And it
going nose
makes you
first into the
grateful
wall.
for the
Yeah.
safety of NASCAR today. Because, I mean, that was wicked, dude. The car came off the ground. I mean, he hit head on. And, man, it was just like the whole front of that car was tore up, man. And I'm surprised. I mean, like he said, yeah, he's like, it hurt, but I'm all right. But I'm sure it hurts worse the next day. But, yeah,
Oh my God,
terrible,
yeah.
terrible crash. I felt actually bad, and you guys know I don't really like Bowman, but for no real specific reason other than I just don't like him.
But yeah, no. But is it bad luck? He was 2 seconds off the leader, in 30th. Well, they were what, around 100 laps in or so when that crash happened.
I think so. I believe so.
Maybe uh, I think it's split, honestly, in my head. Because who knows what that car could have done later in the race, as the day went on. But at the same time, he was in 30th. When that happens. I don't know. I think Bowman is still capable of getting solid finishes done, but he hasn't been having the greatest year either. you know,
Yeah.
and I don't know if that's all on him though. It could also just be team wise, just maybe him and his crew chief not clicking or something else like that, or maybe even mechanically. Maybe he's getting the shit car over at Hendrick. But
Well, that's what I've
who
been
knows?
starting to think, Drew, because, it seems almost like, Larson and Byron are getting, I mean, they're getting the best shit.
Yeah,
And
no, I can agree with
because,
that.
I mean, specifically, like, we talk about Chase Elliott, like, people always say, like, oh, he's washed, he's washed. Well, I saw him at Michigan this past weekend make, like, a ballsy move to get up in the lead. And, I don't remember how many laps he led once he got to the lead. He passed Blaney. And it was a ballsy move. It just shows you it's like, it's the equipment, man.
Yeah.
They are putting so much stock into the 5 and the 24, man, and, like, it is just sad to see, man, because, I mean, even Bowman, like, what was it, like, how many years ago? Like, not even that long ago, like he was winning quite a few races.
Yeah,
Was it 21 or?
I think 20 had 3 wins. Well, I know in the old style of car, he and Chase Elliott both were significantly better in that. Now, partially because they were also on the A team for Chevrolet, but you know, it's just the cars they run now are just different than Gen 6. Gen 7 is a whole other ballpark, and it doesn't help too. He got that gnarly concussion in late of 22, and then he broke his back in 23, and yeah, it's all that shit adds up, and you know
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's a definitive reason why he probably haven't been having the great finishes, but don't forget last year he did win the Chicago Road Course. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
so he's still capable of doing it. And you can make an argument that Tyler Reddick kind of bumping up against the safety area, and slowing him down is kind of what solidified the win. But I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe Bowman would have blocked the shit out of him.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you don't know.
yeah, so I think he still got the job done. But I do question if he's just getting the right support out of his team. And honestly, ever since Hocevar finished second at Nashville, Chad Knaus, who is one of the higher ups at Hendrick, is also Jimmy Johnson's crew chief for all 7 championships. No big deal or anything. He went up to Hocevar and congratulated him on a good spot, and all the internet marks were like, "Ooh, Hocevar to the 48 next year." Just
Well, I did want to touch on that, Drew, because I did see something today that Hocevar, he posted on his Instagram story a picture of seemingly he's right outside of a Hendrick Motorsports shop. Like he took a photo and it had, you see the 5, 9, 24, and 48 right there, and it says Hendrick Motorsports right there. They have like the little pit crew practice area. So
well,
I don't know.
is that where he was, just over at the pit crew area? Because I believe
Well, here I
Spire,
can show you.
yeah, I believe Spire uh, is kind of under. They have Hendrick support for engines, I believe, crews and whatnot. Same. Okay. Uh,
Yeah, he
yeah,
posted this to his Instagram story, and this is from the Foreign Fuel, like I mentioned earlier.
yeah.
They found this.
I don't know. I wouldn't read too deep into that or anything. I mean, don't get me
But I
wrong.
could see it
It's
happening, Drew. I could
yeah. I
see them
can.
dumping that Bowman, man, and just taking on the younger guy that's up and coming.
Well, yeah. Well, so my take on it is, what I don't see them dumping him, but I see them and Spire kind of doing a swap similar to what Rick Ware and Spire did last year, when they kind of switched out Justin Haley with Corey LaJoy, and vice versa. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't think anything like that will happen mid-season, but I mean, I wouldn't doubt that that might be a possibility,
For
that
sure.
Hocevar to
For
the
sure.
48.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Well, and then, since we're talking about Hocevar, the next question is about Hocevar. Coming from Stingray21. Does Hocevar win his way into the playoffs this year? Looking forward to the new episode. Thank you, Stingray. We are recording right now, and you'll see it soon.
hopefully,
But
yeah,
anyways, will Hocevar win his way into the playoffs this year?
I think he could do it.
I want to say yes, right? And I wholeheartedly believe that he could, but I think ultimately this year he'll get in his way a lot, like how he did at Michigan. And you know,
Well,
I don't know. I mean, but it's also right place, right time, right? I mean,
yeah,
like you get a good, pit stop, and you move up some spots, and then you're in the right place. And as long as you from there you make the right decision, never know. But
yeah, and he's shown that he has the speed to do it. So I
yeah,
I
for sure.
I could see him getting a win, and I don't know if I'd guarantee a win, but I could see it. It's a win for him is on the table. You know, but if he doesn't win his way in, I could see him pointing his way in pretty easily if he keeps giving off solid finishes. But I mean, the key thing though is like he's kind of said, he's just got to stay out of his own way. But I think since I started paying attention to him, 2-3 years ago in the truck series, he's gotten a lot better with his racing. He used to be kind of a dickhead behind the wheel.
Kind of careless.
Yeah, you dump people willy nilly. Did the Corey Heim in the 23 Truck Series Championship race. And that bit him in the ass because Heim dumped him later on, first chance he got. But he doesn't really do that stuff anymore. Well, okay, maybe outside like. Yeah, so I think as long as he kind of just keeps working on his racecraft and whatnot, I could see him getting a win. And if he doesn't get a win, I wouldn't be shocked if he went to.
He points his way in to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say too. I could see that more so happening, and I mean that's not a knock on him. I just think that that's the more likely scenario.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty rare these days to have a driver win in their sophomore year. I mean, shit. William Byron didn't get his first win until year 3 or 4. No, it was 3. It was his third season when he got his first win.
A sophomore slump.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know, but
that's what they call it in sports, I guess.
Yeah.
Or most sports.
Yeah, if he doesn't win his win, I could see him at least pointing to it.
Well, you guys may be wondering, what in the hell is this logo?
Oh,
and
yeah.
why are we wearing it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, funnily enough, if you guys been following along on X, I've been bugging the hell out of Hoist, which is an IV level hydration drink. And they were kind enough to send us shirts and some bottles of Hoist. And yeah, dude, they're the official sponsor of NASholes. So Hoist, IV level hydration, battlefield tested, warfighter approved. This stuff is used by the freaking military, like the people that are defending the country, man. And Drew, I'll be honest, man, this 5-star punch, this is my favorite one, man. Like after a long day where I've been sweating working on the golf course, dude, there's nothing like it, man. And I'm going to have it run right now because honestly, dude, there's nothing better than hydration, man.
Yeah,
Hoist
makes
you moist.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been crushing the blue raspberry this evening. It's pretty tasty. Yeah, especially it's really good. Like after I'm done with my long ass wheelchair strolls outside in the hot.
Oh yeah, dude, you're working those arms, dude. You're freaking.
Oh, dude.
Busting it, dude. Oh, it's perfect, man.
Oh my god, yeah. And like I don't feel as shitty afterwards, And it's all thanks to Hoist.
And what's cool about it, and the reason why you don't feel shitty, man, is because there's no bullshit when it comes to Hoist, man. I mean, this is backed by science. They have exactly the amount of electrolytes, like everything in there that you need. They don't add anything extra. There's no dyes. Drew thought they were playing with him, and they put just water in these bottles because he was like, "Oh, why is it not colored?" But no, dude, it is amazing. And if you guys want to go get some Hoist, go to drinkhoist.com and find out all the selections of flavors they have. They even have the package, so if you want to just like pour it in a water bottle, it's perfect for that, man. For when you're on the go. So
I found
go check out Hoist.
Just making cocaine style lines with the Hoist powder and snorting it to be the best way to get electrolytes, but it does kind of sting a little bit. Maybe don't do that.
You still get the electrolytes. We don't recommend that.
Yeah,
but
I'm not saying I stand by that.
Hydration is key, man. So however you need to do it.
Maybe just drink it orally. Maybe do it that way. Don't hate us, boys. Don't hate us. For the love of God.
So go check them out, guys. We love it. We know you will too.
Oh yes. And keep sending us free shit, Hoist. We love it. Well, I do.
Oh, I love my shirt. I gotta show them my shirt. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I can. It says unapologetic hydration.
That's what's up.
We're unapologetically hydrated here at NASCAR. Yeah. Thank you, friggin' Hoist. We love you. Yeah, guys, go check it out. But Drew, let's talk about the news in the notes. Okay. So let me see what I have here. Well, first of all, at Michigan, a squirrel became a roadkill because of Ty Dillon.
Damn shame.
The squirrel actually ran into the pit, in the pit road. It was actually funny. If you guys look on our X, I actually reposted it, but they had the onboard camera and like audio of him talking to the crew chief. He's like, "Did I just kill the squirrel?" And they're like, "Yep, you did."
Damn shame.
And he's like, "Bad timing, little buddy. I'm sorry."
Man,
But it was just
yeah, I
really
think that's
funny.
the first sad animal death ever since Ryan Blaney creamed that one cat one weekend.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, dude, I love cats, and it genuinely bummed me out. So it's like, oh, that poor little cat didn't know what was going on. And then, I mean, the image of the crew members using a shovel to clean it up though kind of made me chuckle. Like the safety officials going on the track and just picking it up and throwing it in a freaking plastic bucket. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, shout out to that squirrel, gone but not forgotten. He's crossing the Rainbow Bridge into Valhalla right now. You know, he died a hero's death. That's how
He's
I
with
want to
Dale
go.
Senior, baby.
Dude, him and Dale Senior they're gonna drink with the likes of like Odin and Freya and Thor and all those other pagan gods. What are the other ones? I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. I don't care.
Loki, Bragi, and all the other losers up there in Valhalla.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So NASCAR lawsuit, right? So obviously a lot of y'all know that 2311 and Front Row Motorsports had a little lawsuit going on with NASCAR. You know, they claim that how would you word it, Drew? They basically claim that NASCAR's like not making it or they're violating the antitrust policy and basically not, or like making it better for some teams, like giving them more money or something like that. I don't really know. I don't really understand it that well.
So they're gonna take the charters away because, well, I don't know. I think it was.
This is what it says, Drew. I'm just gonna read what Jeff Gluck put out here.
Oh yeah.
So the preliminary injunction that allowed 2311 and FRM to race as charter teams has been overturned by a federal appeals court. The teams could now lose their charters, both existing, the ones they got from SHR, and race as open teams. So I think that's supposed to start June 26th. It's my birthday.
Damn, Ben, what a weird birthday for you.
It actually has been a weird birthday over the years, but we'll get into that another time. But yeah, Drew, I don't know, dude. This is crazy, man. I think in December is when they officially will have the court case or whatever, or the hearing.
Yeah, since they'll lose their charters, they're gonna be out like millions of dollars because charter teams are guaranteed money from like advertisements and like the broadcasting and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I can't really disagree with them losing it though, because you can't sue NASCAR for the charters and still use charters. It's kind of like
It's not
intuitive.
counterproductive.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, when I don't know. Once again, I heard it on one of the shows I listened to. Heaven forbid I fucking write this down. I mean, it kind of made sense to me too, because I was like, it makes sense. Like you can't sue NASCAR and still like try and run a NASCAR team like this. And now now they'll be out millions of dollars though, and they'll have to race their way into every race, which will not be a problem outside of maybe super speedway races. But even then, I don't see it really being an issue. It's more just financially burdensome than anything. So, but
yeah,
good thing Michael Jordan's got deep pockets and can probably, I don't know, maybe offset that.
I heard a theory about.
I'd like to assume that.
I heard a crazy theory that Michael Jordan's trying to stir this shit up so that NASCAR just goes to shit and then he just ends up buying NASCAR.
I don't buy it.
That doesn't even make sense to me, but yeah, dude, pretty bad. This is pretty bad for the sport, man. I'll be honest.
Not a good look, but
it's not a good look for sure, bro. But I mean, I don't know, dude. I guess if that's how they feel, go to court.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a what was it? A federal judge that said that? I don't remember. It was a judge on some level.
I just had it up on Grok, dude, but then I was just gonna stop talking about it. But
anyways, yeah, no. I mean, it sucks for the teams, because they'll be out all that money, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense that they're losing, because it's like you can't sue the bakery and also eat the cake at the same time.
Right. That's exactly right, man. Yeah. But yeah, I hate it, but It is what it is. Oh, we should probably talk about this in-season challenge that they have, and I can't find what I had on it. So it started, I believe, the placement for the seating started at this last race, I think, or was it in Charlotte? But yeah, NASCAR is doing an in-season challenge,
I think
and
it starts with Atlanta. Yeah.
so best overall finishes at Michigan, Mexico, and Pocono. So that will, based on that, will get your seeding for the in-season challenge. And so far, I don't really have any information that I can find about it. But yeah, I don't know, Drew. What do you think about NASCAR doing something like this? I mean, because I know the NBA has done those little in-season tournaments. So I don't know. What is your thoughts on it?
I mean, even though I still haven't wrapped my head around it 100%, I think it's like a good thing to keep fans intrigued because the summertime can be a bit of a bore when it comes to the sport.
That's true,
Because
man.
like the first few months
Yeah.
post Daytona, people are pretty hyped, but around the summertime, there's usually a bit of a lull. You still get awesome moments and all that, but it's not really until the playoffs start where people start getting amped up for the sport again. So something like this,
Mm-hmm.
is I think it's a very good idea. Like I said, I still
Yeah.
haven't wrapped my head around it 100%, but I mean, it's something to keep fans engaged though until the playoffs start.
Yeah.
Well,
And I think, Drew, is like, I know that the drivers probably do not care one bit about it. I know they don't.
I
But
mean, they should. They get $1 million to whoever wins it. So,
that's
and I
true.
think also
But I'm
playoff
saying
points. I don't know, but
from what I've heard from drivers' thoughts on it is that like and it's a good thing that they're not really thinking about it because they're going to race and this is where you're going to get like with this challenge. And again, I don't really quite understand it fully. I also have not really looked all that much into it, but it seems like almost like a bracket challenge type of
yeah,
thing. And you'll have to finish better than the other person and whatnot. I mean, I think it's just kind of cool, dude. It just, yeah, like you said, I think you've referred to it as the June swoon,
yeah, something like that.
something like that. Now, I don't know, with Mexico coming up, this might add a little bit more excitement just because, first time that they're racing there.
Well, in the Cup Series,
And,
in the Cup.
well, yeah, in the Cup Series. So, I mean, but yeah, dude, I think it's cool, dude. And why not? I mean, because, like, they're trying to grow the sport. I mean, and this might end up, doing something like that, like
Well,
helping people
one thing,
get more
one
into it.
thing too that I just kind of realized is that for people that are sports betting, this also might just add a whole nother degree to like sports betting. Now they can bet
Oh,
against
dude,
like which driver's going to finish
that
better than the
just
other.
adds a whole thing
So
to
here,
sports
I
betting.
don't participate in it mostly because I'm broke, but also I have an addictive personality. So I kind of want to drop tons of money on something online again. Can't have another OnlyFans incident.
Yeah, dude,
Anyways,
I stay away from it, man, because
yeah. Well, you're
if I
married.
get
You
into
can't go on
something like that, I'm
OnlyFans.
all the way.
You're talking about the bracket, not OnlyFans. Anyways,
I'm talking about gambling.
I was gonna say Alexander would probably kill you if she saw your bank statements and she's like, "How the fuck did you drop $1,500 on OnlyFans?" Oh man, I don't want to bury you too soon. Stay off that. Anyways, but yeah, no, for sports betting, I think that'll probably make a whole nother, I don't know, avenue for it, which will be cool. But yeah, no, it's something good though. 'Cause like I said, the summers you hit a bit of a slump, so something like this is it's a good little shakeup.
For sure, for sure. So, getting into some other things, Chicago Street Race has signed Arby's as one of its primary presenting sponsors. So, it's interesting.
Well, I mean, not really shocking. I mean, they're on the Rick Ware car for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Somehow they convinced them to sponsor the 51. But anyways,
Now, Drew, do you have any news or notes?
no, I think you pretty much touched on everything I'm aware of.
Did we talk about last week about Atlanta Motor Speedway changing to Echo Park?
Yeah, we talked.
Okay, we already talked about that. Okay, well, I'm trying to see if there's anything I want to say about any other drivers, like anything that happened. I'm trying to look through,
Well, I mean, I guess.
jog my
Well, we could
memory.
probably talk about the Truck Series. Stuart Friesen getting a win.
Oh, we should
Now,
because of
I
what
will have to
happened.
eat my words on this because I haven't been the kindest to Stuart Creason, but I also do enjoy being proved wrong. You know, he beat well, I thought he never won, honestly, because I don't know, I just thought the guy sucked so bad. I guess he actually does have some wins in the Truck Series, and he beat how many days?
It was he had a 72 race
72.
losing streak.
Damn, that means he won last in like 21 maybe.
Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Well, you got to remember, Truck Series only races 20 times a year, so we're looking 4+ years ago.
Oh, I forgot about that, dude. Yeah, that's a
Yeah, it's pretty
jeez, man.
good. Well, and I also found out he's Canadian too. You know, of course, the Canuck gets it done in one of the most northern tracks on the schedule.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at his driver averages here.
But I'll happily eat my words on that. You know, he got a win. You could argue he only got it because Truck Series was a bit of a shit show Saturday, but no, I
Yeah.
think big ups to the Canuck.
Well, and it was cool because right there in Michigan, they're pretty close over there to Canada, and there's a lot of Canadians at the race. A lot of people were excited, and
Oh, hell,
man, it was
hell,
just
they
cool.
even did
It's cool when
Canada.
somebody that's not supposed to win wins.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a feel good, even if you don't care for the guy, So, yeah, big ups to him. Hopefully, I don't know, you can keep proving me wrong.
Yeah. Well, he also, it was funny, like, they talked about, I think in an interview, he talked about how he basically, like, earlier this season thought about quitting. Like, he was just like, he's like, I don't think I got it anymore. Like, I just don't know. Like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And, just to win at a track like Michigan, like, that's pretty awesome, man. After you were going to quit.
Oh, yeah.
Never back down, never what? Never give up.
I don't know that.
Oh, gosh darn it.
Yeah. But anyways, outside
But
of
then,
that.
okay, but in that truck race, dude, we all remember how Corey LaJoy
Yeah.
was saying how he had said, I don't want to race in Truck or Xfinity in front of 9 fans. And, well, he turned out to look like a damn idiot because he raced, now he is racing the next 8, but at the time, the next 9 races of the Truck Series. And Michigan showed out for that truck race, I'll be honest, man. That's the most people I've seen this year at any track. I mean, there was a ton of people there, like, watching.
Well, did you?
And, dude, he was up at the front at one point, and I thought he was going to win, damn near.
LaJoy kind of had to eat his words a bit this weekend. He tried to back up on it. He was like, "Yeah, I was in the middle of a 5-day fast," or he was fasting for 5 days when he said that. And I was like,
Oh, that's a cop out.
like, shut the fuck up.
I did not even hear that.
Like,
That's such a cop out.
Like, shut the fuck up. Like, just own it. Just own it, and
just say, yeah, I said it, and that's what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, eat your fucking words.
Like, there's nothing wrong with saying it, but it's just like,
I mean,
but then when you show up to Michigan, bro, and there's a bunch of people there, man. Don't be all like, crap. Like, don't be all shit in your britches.
Yeah,
but. All right, Drew. Shall we get into the preview of Mexico? Unless you have anything else that you wanted to say about Michigan
well,
or
you're
anything
talking about
else.
the grass at Michigan. I know you're pretty hyped about the grass.
Son of a bitch, Drew. I can't believe I forgot about this.
I can't either, dude. Grass is just like half of your personality.
Grass is my ass, man. Well, Drew, I tell you what, man. There is nothing like.
On my head. You have to use a lawnmower to clean your butt because it's so grassy.
A lawnmower of sorts.
Oh, dude. Do you do manscaping with your fucking Toro lawn?
God, I wish they made a Toro manscaper.
You fucking would use the Toro manscape. Anyways.
Okay. So, I'm looking at this here just because I'm trying to... Okay. Cannot find any information about it. I should have done this before because obviously I forgot about it, but... Gets a great grass rating. They had it striped up, man. And it's real. I'm pretty sure from what I can tell, it's none of that fake crap that you can't tell if it's real or not. And then when you find out that it's not real, it kind of upsets you. But no, I liked it, dude. I think it looks great. And I think, bigger tracks like this, you got to have the real grass, man. You just got to have it.
That's good. Good grass rating.
We got to do paint scheme, Drew.
Oh, yeah. Let me whip that up here real quick. Screen share.
This was not a particularly hard one for me, although going into it, I thought that the 77 would be my favorite. But my favorite is going to be numero uno Busch Light Apple. And honestly, that picture doesn't do it justice, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, do better, JSG.
My honorable mention, though, the number 17.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful car.
Bouchard.
RFK's been killing it with their paint schemes.
Oh, dude, especially the Kroger schemes. Kroger schemes kick ass.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There it is, flavor tour.
Though it is weird seeing Heinz not have a ketchup scheme, because, I don't know, when I think of Heinz, I think of ketchup. But, well, before...
what do you got for your scheme,
Well,
Bob?
mine's the 77, but I do just want to point out how they used this photo for the 41. It made me laugh like an idiot. I was like, dude, come on. There's probably like 18 better photos you could have used. Did Custer dirty, dude.
That is just douchebaggery, man.
Douchebaggery at 200% American. I didn't even see that. That's hilarious.
Oh, I forgot about that car. That's a great car, by the way.
Dude, that is an American car if I've ever seen. But yeah, no, the 77, black and gold. No, this gold looks more like gold.
Cash.
And God damn it! I just realized they fucking did him dirty. Son of a bitch, JC.
Come on,
JC, what the fuck, man?
You're a jackass.
What the fuck, man? My neighbors hate me. Anyways, the black and gold was pretty sick, and it was so sick that it actually made the 8 look like dog shit to me, because it just made the. Let's see here.
Yeah. You know what? That's true, dude. Get to that.
Yeah. I was like, damn, this just looks like mustard and black to me now. And it's like.
No, it's cool because they have like downtown Detroit. They have the buildings on it. That's cool.
Oh,
but
that's what Detroit looks like?
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't even look gold.
Oh, man. I thought like Detroit was in ruins. I don't know. But,
well, it is for the most part, but, not the part of it.
It's not the skyline. When I think of the Detroit skyline, I think of all the skyscrapers with smoke pluming out of them. I don't want to say like a 9/11 type of fire, but I mean, it's the only example I got.
That's what I'm saying.
Not saying 9/11's funny, it's a tragedy, people died, but the idea of the skyline of Detroit burning just makes me laugh because I'm silly.
You're sick.
I can't say the R word anymore. But I guess we should probably go to our picks for Mexico City before we wrap this dumpster fire up.
Okay, so Drew, we're going to Mexico City. This is going to be the hardest race to pick because Cups never race here, so we don't have any history or any kind of like little patterns, that I like to look at. So I have nothing to go off of here other than, well, first of all, I have nothing to go off of because of that. And also, it is my pick. I finally did not get absolutely killed by Drew.
Yeah. Yeah.
At Michigan, I picked Keselowski. Drew picked Hocevar. Which, honestly, he had to, he got to pick first. So I'm like, damn it, dude. I'm like, that's a great pick. I'm like, I'm going to pick a Michigan driver. Well, it worked out for me. Got 10th place finish. Drew got the 30th. So I get 26 points. He gets 6. I'm still trailing, though, but I got 306 points, and Drew has 317. So we're pretty tight here. But now we're going to Mexico City. And really, honestly, this could be anyone, man. But ultimately, sorry, I'm running my name. I'm not looking at the camera. Ultimately, I am just going to have to go with Michael McDowell, man. I mean, good road course driver. I mean, I could have went with a lot of other people. I was thinking like Chase Elliott, SVG, Allmendinger. But I like the McDowell pick.
Well, myself here might be shooting myself in the foot here by doing this.
Oh no.
I want that man to run at least top.
Man, you know what, dude? Like, I wanted to do it so bad.
I want that brave Mexican to show up for all those other Mexicans down there.
That would be poetic if he won. And the reason I don't pick him is because of the fact that like it just seems too like an obvious of a thing like that. There's no way it's gonna happen.
I'm not gonna lie. I low-key thought you were gonna pick him, so I wasn't even originally gonna do it. But I just hope he doesn't have any shit scenarios happen to him now.
Yeah, stupid crap.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna go with the ding man himself, Allmendinger, but no, I'm gonna I'm sticking to my guns now. That brave Spaniard man, Mexican, I mean, that brave Mexican's gonna go down there and show up for his home team. Or town? No, country. That's the word. Grammar. I'm keeping that in too. Yeah, 'cause I also think out of all the races this year, I bet you this is the one that they've worked on the hardest. So he is probably going to show up. And also, he's probably also really the only guy that might have run that track in the past. I can't say for certain.
He may
Yeah,
have. We
he
don't
very
know.
well
I
could have
have
in
to
like
look
a
into that.
lower division or maybe Mexico series. I don't think I don't think he raced the Mexico series. I know he raced one race in Brazil and then he got that win taken away. Uh, yeah, I think the 99 is gonna put on a good show for us Sunday. God, I
Yeah.
hope. God, I hope.
And well, there are a couple guys too, Drew. I'm pretty sure. Like I know Kyle Busch has won here when he was in Xfinity. He won in Mexico City. I don't know who else. I mean, I'm not sure who else was probably in Xfinity that's still in Cup that was with
Juan
him
Pablo
at that time.
Montoya from down there in '07, '07 or '06.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to that Colombian
Was there anyone
Peruvian.
besides Busch, like who's still, in Cup right now, who
No,
raced there when it was in Xfinity?
yeah, I think it's really Bush and Hamlin were the only two, but
Mm,
I can't
wow.
say for certain.
Well, the purse, Drew, I've just found this out from Bob Pockris. The purse for Mexico City weekend, including all payouts for all positions, contingency awards, contribution to season-ending points fund, etc. For Cup, it will be 12.56 million.
Is
So
that in
that
pesos
will be the
or
purse.
dollarinos? I think. I mean,
I'd be curious
yeah,
to know
if it's in pesos, they're gonna get like $5 for the winner. Like,
they're gonna get screwed, bro.
no, I
That's 12. That's
also
actually
is that
only
money dirty? Is that like money
$12,000.
from the cartel too? I mean, which is another thing too. This is probably the first and only time we're gonna have a NASCAR race somewhere where the cartel's in power. And it's like it makes you just wonder how much drug dealing is gonna go down
Dude,
there.
maybe they threatened everybody and Daniel Suarez has to win.
Oh, dude,
Shoot.
that'd be cool. Well, before we wrap this up, one thing I did see earlier was that they're gonna have a podium finish in Mexico
Oh,
City.
yes,
Yeah, so
yes,
that's
yes.
pretty neat.
What are your thoughts about that?
I saw McDowell do an interview earlier where
Yeah,
he
I saw that
said
earlier today.
that he's been kind of advocating for it, but I don't know. I think maybe if we would have adopted something like that early on in the sport, it would be whatever. But
Yeah, I guess
it's
I get what you're saying.
it's
Adding it now is
yeah.
kind
Well,
of.
I mean, like when they had the Clash at the Coliseum, or for the preseason race, they did the podium there, and that was pretty special there. So I don't think they should adopt it for every race, but I think special occasions like racing internationally, we could probably do something like that because I mean he did say a couple points that I did agree with, like it still like gives credit to second and third because finishing second and third is still really good, but all the attention
Right,
is
it's really hard.
focused on the guy that placed first, whereas with the podium finish, everybody kind of you know they all get the credit for placing in a podium position. I agree with that, but I just think adopting it for all the races just kind of it just wouldn't work. You know.
Well, would you be okay with it if it was just crown jewels?
Mm,
But even then,
well,
I've
you
been
can't do
conflicted
that with
about
the
that
Daytona
thought.
500 because the guy that wins that's considered the
No,
Daytona 500 champion, and you can't have second and third up there because those are just the first two losers in my eyes when it comes to that. Like I said, I think special occasions like Mexico City, it's a good idea because that's kind of also how they. Well, like outside of NASCAR, a lot of motorsports use podiums, to show off first through third. But yeah, I just don't think we should add it to all the other races. Special occasions, yeah, but not for every race. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's cool, and I get where Michael McDowell said, like I believe that sponsors would love it, right? Because it's like you're more chance of getting that brand out there
Oh yeah.
and stuff like
Well,
that.
but you could also argue though you still get that brand out there by finishing second and third. Because I mean the last like 5 or so laps, all they are is focused on like first, second, and third. You know, unless there's like a ridiculous lead, then it's all going to be on
Possibly,
first
but
place. So, you know,
yeah.
I
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, definitely not for every race, Drew, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, this will be the first time that I see something like this, right? I mean, they've never done it, so like maybe we see it and like, okay, that's not as bad as I thought, or like that's actually pretty freaking awesome, and I think we should do it. But I get what you're saying, Daytona 500, and like,
Yeah, you could do it for stuff like that.
maybe not the Coke 600, but maybe the Southern 500. I don't know,
I don't know. Like I said, I think outside of special
or just all
races,
the
well, because
like a
the
road
thing too
course.
is if we do a podium for every race, it's not going to be special anymore. It's going to be run of the mill. So like if you do
Yeah,
podiums for like
yeah, victory lane doesn't mean
yeah, I
anything.
mean it totally pulls away from victory lane. Yeah,
100.
yeah, yeah. I know I'm talking circles here, but I literally am because we're talking NASCAR. Rim shot.
Haha, let's go. But yeah, guys, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, we are looking forward to Mexico City. We're gonna see how it is. Next week we will break it all down for you. Yeah, make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Just type in NASHoles, a NASCAR podcast, or you can just type in NASHoles podcast. It should pop up. You should see our beautiful faces. Spotify, follow us. Put that notification bell on so you know every time we release an episode. Give us the 5 stars. Leave a comment on YouTube or Spotify or X or TikTok or whatever. Yeah, reach out to us and make sure you're drinking that hoist, staying
Drink
hydrated.
nothing but Hoy.
We love you all,
Nothing but.
and we will see you after Mexico, mi
Bye,
amigos.
Mom.